Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. Welcome back to the Movieverse podcast show. My name is the Habitual Pixel. This is my co-host Big Nasty Productions, and if you're new around here, we review films in a very long, spoiler-tastic manner. There's your spoiler alert. We do do a deep dive into story and whatnot, so just be forewarned. And today's film is Sicario. This film kind of came out of nowhere for me. It got about 3 or 4 nominations this year for different things at the Academy Awards. I don't think it won any, did it? I don't think so.
I think it won for Best Original Score.
Original score?
I believe so. I could be wrong, though. Should look that up, actually.
Alright, I will. In the meantime, why don't you hit us with a little bit of a synopsis of this kind of gritty crime film.
Well, Sicario's a film by Denis Villeneuve, I think is how you say his name. I'm not positive on his pronunciation of his last name. I believe he's a French-Canadian director. Mm-hmm. And anyways, it stars Emily Blunt as FBI agent Kate Mercer. She, in one of her task force, unfolds this Mexican cartel that has all these bodies placed inside of this house.
In the walls.
Yeah, so
super creepy.
While they're uncovering it, they find out that there's a compartment in the shed that's underground that happens to be locked. So when the FBI agent is trying to cut it open, it ends up blowing up. Turns out to be a big-ass bomb. Kills a whole bunch of FBI agents and such. So anyways, she decides to volunteer to be part of this special... what do you call it? I don't actually know what the term is, but it's
task force.
Interagency, an interagency task force, I guess. Mm-hmm. I think that would be what it is. Either way, she signs up for that. So she ends up working with 2 guys who end up turning out to be, well, one of them CIA, in Josh Brolin's character, and Benicio Del Toro's character, Matt Graver, and I can't remember what Benicio Del Toro's name is. Alejandro. I don't think they give you a last name.
Alejandro, yeah.
Either way, so she ends up working with them, and through their working finds out that there's something a little bit shady going on with how they're dealing with the cartels.
They're playing by a different set of rules.
So she basically starts to have kind of ethical and
moral conundrum. Yeah.
Moral conundrum as far as whether to allow these guys to do it, and she decides that she's not going to let them get away with it until, unfortunately, she's basically given no choice. But it's a really interesting movie. I mean, that's pretty much kind of sums up what it's all about there, except for the fact that, Benicio Del Toro's character, but we'll get to that. Mm-hmm. Anyways, like you said, it's definitely, it creeped up on me because there wasn't really much marketing for it before it came out that I saw. So then when I did see it, eventually, I'm kind of surprised that it got snubbed at the Oscars as far as...
It didn't win anything, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, it didn't? Okay, so...
Nominated for cinematography, score, and sound editing.
Yeah. It didn't win score. Okay. Well, either way, I'm surprised it didn't get nominated for Best Picture, and Emily Blunt for Best Supporting Actress, if not Best Actress, depending on how they would categorize her.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they would categorize it, but I think she deserves something.
I'm surprised, man, because, I mean, this is honestly one of the best ones. I'd put this up there with the British Spies, at least, and, I mean, I don't personally think that The Revenant deserved Best Picture, but I would definitely put this up there with it. I think this was one of the best films of the year. And some of the best performances, especially Josh Brolin and Emily Blunt, but Benicio Del Toro as well. This is probably one of his best performances in a while as well.
Oh, he
outside of course, the Wolfman and
yeah,
Guardians of the Galaxy is a collector.
He was awesome in Guardians.
He is actually awesome in Guardians of the Galaxy.
He's perfect for that role.
Yeah, not so much.
Yeah, he surprised me a lot in this film too. I mean, I've always been a big Del Toro fan because he's a good actor. He plays good roles, but him coming in as this, like, you don't even know what his role is in this task force for the longest time, and they play by a different set of rules, and not sure if he's like CIA, if he's like part of the cartel themselves, and it turns out he's something all different.
Greatest line Emily Blunt says in the whole movie is, "You're a fucking spook," and so is he.
Yeah. Yeah, Emily Blunt's character really has a hard time with how this task force does things. Even though
she means because he's a CIA agent, just in case.
Yeah.
I just realized that could have came off a little racist there. Not what I meant.
Not in spy movies. A spook is a goddamn Fed. Everyone.
Well, I never said who she was saying it to, so I'm just.
yeah, no kidding.
I see you.
Damn.
And
what are you doing? All right.
Are you guys recording?
Yeah.
Aww.
I'll pause.
Beanie's like, I want to come in too.
You should be.
All right, where were we? Sorry.
Where were we?
Yeah, no, I'm talking about spooks and shit, you know.
All right.
Yeah, this is a character piece for the most part, but I think this is made like excellently. Especially some of the stuff where they go into the shit when they go down to Juarez, Mexico. Is that how you pronounce it? I'm sorry. Juarez, yes. To go battle the...
Come on, say it with me. Juarez.
There
you go.
To go battle the Sonora cartel on their home turf. And some of those scenes are really, really awesome. And this is not...
Oh, fuck yeah. Like when they stop them at the traffic stop that they do there?
Yeah, the border crossing scene. Yeah, that was really intense. There is a few really solid action scenes in here that are just... They're not in your face, bang, bang. It's more like, paced well and subtly done. Especially that border crossing scene. You think it's going to turn into just like maybe a huge gunfight or something. But no, they just assassinate them all and leave because that's how they're doing it. And that's when Emily Blunt's character first realized, like, hey, we just killed 2 carfuls of people and left.
Yeah, without any sort of, government regulations or anything in place, except for the fact that they just had to only be able to do whatever they did.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And, yeah, I loved this film, actually. It came out of nowhere, kind of. I think it's pretty well directed. Like I said, all the stuff in Mexico, especially the transportation scene where they're just going through the streets and they got all those cars moving and there's fucking bodies hanging from overpasses and shit. Awesome. That was some awesome shit. And of course the tunnel scene at the end, I thought that was the way they mix the night vision and whatnot. I thought that was really cool. Especially the way that wraps up with Benicio Del Toro just gunning down Emily Blunt's character. That is a spoiler. She doesn't kill him, or he doesn't kill her.
Shoots her right in her bulletproof vest, like right in the gut of it.
The equivalent of punching her out, basically.
Yeah. And then he says, "Don't you ever fucking point a gun at me again."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, not bad, Benicio.
I like the inflection. It was good inflection, I thought.
I love.
By the way, the only way I didn't mean to sound like a dick earlier. The only reason I knew Juarez is because of that video game, Call of Juarez or whatever.
Oh yeah, you're right. No, I should be able to say words. It's all good. But yeah, Benicio Del Toro's character I loved in this film. He was so like creepy badass, and you don't really know what his motives are until when you figure it out, it all makes sense, and you're like, oh yes, that's awesome.
Then you just feel horrible for the fucking guy.
You do, because he's,
he was a lawyer.
It's alleged that he's a lawyer who might have been mixed up in cartel business at some point, but doesn't matter. His wife was decapitated, and his daughter, or both his kids, I'm not sure,
his daughter
was killed and thrown into a vat of acid or something extreme like that. So he basically, what he's doing is he's taking every opportunity to go after these people, and if that means working with the FBI or whatever, he's gonna do it. Yeah. And hence Emily Blunt's character's moral conundrum that the FBI is kind of just hired a hitman, but it makes sense, right? And that last scene where he takes the he takes the cop car, and then the whole process of him going to the main guy's estate and taking everyone out, and then sitting down at the dinner table for that final scene. Oh man, so good. I'd like to see a nomination for Best Supporting for him, even, right?
I was surprised. Him and Josh Brolin. Josh Brolin's fucking awesome in this. He just plays an absolute arrogant prick, which, I mean, he does really well. He does
really, really well.
But, I don't know, like, in this, he does a really good job of being kind of more of a believable character by being a little more grounded. Like, he's not over the top or anything.
Yeah, he's super casual.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, with being a prick, like, and the way he does it, like, it's just, I don't know, there's a real believability to his character, and same with Emily Blunt. She's actually really good in this. I was kind of surprised, because I wasn't a fan of Edge of Tomorrow, which is the last thing I've seen her in.
I guess that'd be the last thing I saw.
That's what it was called, right? Edge of Tomorrow?
Or Live, Die, Repeat. Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. I actually did like that movie, but that's because I'm a sci-fi nerd, but whatever. That's the last time I saw her.
She was amazing in this.
She was okay in Looper as well. And
I've still never seen Looper.
That's okay. It's not an amazing film, in my opinion, but it's okay.
That's what I always heard. That's why I never watched it.
It's aight. Yeah, Emily Blunt killed it. And she does a great job as being a, tough as nails agent, but still having a very strong moral problem with the way they're dealing with things. And I like the shit with her picking up smoking again. That was an enjoyable character trait. And I was also surprised to see how we were just talking about Punisher. What's his name again?
John Bernthal?
John Bernthal, yeah.
I believe that's how you pronounce his last name. I apologize if it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's now going to be... He's soon to be more famous for being the Punisher than being Shane, because holy fucking shit does he not kill that role.
Oh, yeah. He does a great job. And yeah, I liked his...
Punisher on screen, 100%.
Oh, yeah. And I liked his little role here, too. The way that scene played out, I thought was really interesting.
He's more of a Shane character here, I feel. But
yeah,
he does a good job.
He's more of a dickhead, but then they use Emily Blunt's character as like a bait, almost. Yeah. And I love that scene where it's, it appears that he's about to sexually assault Emily Blunt's character, and he just looks up. There's Alejandro, and just... What does he say? He like makes a kissing noise or something. He's like, "Hey," something like that. Just like a single word.
Benicio Del Toro is awesome in this movie. I can't stress that enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you want to see just something amazing, watch the last scene where he's taking the compound single-handedly. Oh, so good. Yeah. And then especially the sit down with the big bad's wife and kids in the room. Oh man, so good.
So, I mean, and the directing in this is superb too. I thought Villeneuve did an amazing job. I'm kind of surprised he didn't get a nomination either, or at least you said cinematography did get a nomination.
Yes, I believe so. Yeah, cinematography.
Okay, so that makes sense. But to me, I don't understand how he wasn't put in there as well, because this
is directed excellently.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, and I mean, he the way he puts everything together is just beautiful in this. Like, this is an awesome cartel type movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm a huge fan of this like subgenre of crime stuff. Obviously, we I don't know if I ever posted the Narcos review actually, but we both really enjoyed Narcos. I love that setting is a good setting for crime films, because it's just it is the literal Wild West of the modern day, and this is arguably one of the best films about that kind of cartel FBI drug war I've ever seen.
Hands down, easily one of the best. I would agree with that. And I'm honestly I was surprised. I felt like this was one of the biggest snubs, because it's so good. I mean, this is great. It's just great. It's fantastic. I really don't know what else to say about it, except for, I mean, the score too. I mean, everything comes together in this so well. It's such a strong film. It's paced beautifully.
Paced great, not too long, not too short. Get enough of everyone's character.
The visuals are great. Like, I mean, all the scenes are set up beautifully. Mm-hmm. The dialogue's amazing. Like, it was extremely well written.
Oh yeah, this is great across the board. I really like this, and I think this is definitely the best film this guy has made. He's got a relatively short career so far.
Prisoners was pretty awesome.
Prisoners was pretty awesome. I'll give him that. So these two combined is looking like he's gonna be, a favorite of mine in the upcoming years if he keeps up this style of film. Yeah. And of course, he's got the nod for the upcoming Blade Runner sequel, which I still have no idea what to make of a Blade Runner sequel. We'll see. You never know. But I think this is some superb directing.
No, it is. I mean, it's probably one of the best roles from Benicio Del Toro and Emily Blunt. Maybe Josh Brolin as well. I mean, it's arguable that he does have some other stuff that's out there. John Bernthal, obviously, the Punisher, but
yeah, well, he's more of a smaller role in this, but he did a good job too.
He's just a rapist who gets the shit kicked out of him.
All bad guys are rapists. It's the only movie trope in this film, actually. It's not bad. Yeah, they could have done some tropey shit. But
issues that I do have with it, all that aside, considering I basically just been saying how much I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the issues I do have writing-wise is just character-wise with Kate. Kate Macer is the character's name. Emily Blunt's character.
Yeah,
there is a little bit of a downside to it in the fact that she basically it kind of highlights that in this. It sends a message that women aren't equal to men in fields of strength and things like that, or something where in combat, or anything like where that's needed, because she gets dominated like a lot
Yeah,
in this.
there is some definite theme, and she is a badass. Don't get us wrong, but you know, there is some scenes where it's clearly that's what
And she
they're
has to
going
be
for.
saved by a man each time.
Yeah, and it kind of reminded me a little bit of I don't know, Silence of the Lambs maybe, with you know, the main character.
Jodie Foster.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jodie Foster's character
yeah.
in the man dominated field,
Yeah,
and how that
Reese
plays
Strong.
into the story. And I think that's kind of the point of some of this story here. Um, yeah, I don't. That is kind of a problem. I will agree, but she still tries her hardest to.
Just because of the message that it conveys, right? I mean,
Yeah,
like
it could
somehow
be.
that women in law enforcement, you know, like aren't as equal to men when it comes to a combative sort of
Hmm.
arena, I guess, if you will. Because I mean, Josh Brolin when he dominates her, it's basically to prove a point to her, almost like that he's this is what's happening. You can fucking either take it and deal with it, or get the fuck out of here,
Hmm.
and or get killed. I mean, but with Benicio Del Toro and like with John Bernthal, when John Bernthal's basically choking the life out of her, the only reason she's alive is because Benicio Del Toro character steps in and saves her. So to me, that just doesn't send the best message. But I mean, that's a very very small
Yeah, that's a
piece of
nitpick.
the story to me that I nitpick because, and I mean, realistically, would it be better if she was a stronger woman? Yes, but I do feel like it did have a little bit more to deal with the story, especially with the end conversation between Alejandro and her.
Oh yeah,
The reason
yeah.
that she seems to go along with it because she does try and stand up to him, but
She does, yeah, right up to the very end, and then she just decides it's not worth it.
exactly, and she's not
Even
going to
when
kill.
there's a even when there's a gun pointed under her chin. I love that line too. Is just I can't sign that, and he just slowly puts the gun up. As it would be your suicide, or something haunting like that.
Yeah, Benicio Del Toro was fucking creepy in this. He's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
He starts and like he does a good job of like the transition too because he starts out a little more friendly and a little less intimidating, and then kind of transitions into the real Alejandro and is a little more cold and distant in the way that he proceeds with how he deals with Emily Blunt's character. Josh Brolin, on the other hand, he kind of starts out a little more friendly. You just kind of see him transition and just be more of a prick.
Yeah, he's a bit of a prick.
He does a good job of that as well.
Oh yeah. I love Josh Brolin. He's a great actor.
He's awesome.
Mm-hmm. And this is good acting across the board
Yeah,
on this
he's
one.
easily one of the best casts, like top to bottom, as far as performance wise in the films that should have been nominated this year, including things like this. You know, Black Mass. It's definitely on par with stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is probably one of my favorite films of the year. When it comes down to it, I'd say at least in the top 5 for sure.
Yeah,
And if I don't know, I would say anyone who enjoys a good crime story, a thriller, this is definitely got a lot of suspense and really good pacing. If you enjoy stuff like that, this is not to be missed.
the build-up is great too, right? 'Cause
Build up, yeah.
You know, you don't really anticipate how deep it goes in the way that in what they're doing, but you know that there's something shady going on. The way that they handle it is really well done. Especially like I mean, even the build up with John Bernthal. Like wouldn't have put two and two together at first that he was there with for the cartel, right? He was literally supposed to be talking to her. I honestly thought that it was just happenstance. Like it just happened. That's what happened.
Yeah. The way they set it up, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and
how
then
it
he
looked.
ended up trying to rape her. I thought that's what happened, but then they ended up going into the fact that he actually was.
Yeah, she was the
supposed
target
go.
to begin with. Yeah.
It was like, okay, that's pretty cool. And they warned her. I love that. Josh Brolin was like, "Don't go in the bank, Kate."
Yep. They constantly warn this girl, and
She goes in the bank. She went in the bank.
Yeah, I love that. Yep, she's going in the bank. She's going in the bank. She's a stubborn character in this, and you can understand her motivations why. But she, this isn't a nitpick. This is just a me talking to the character. But she volunteered for this, and multiple times they gave her every out to leave, but she doesn't want to because, that's the mission. She signed on. She wants to see this through, but she just has she just has trouble taking advice sometimes. Especially at the end when Alejandro's like, "You probably shouldn't smoke on balconies for a while." That's all he says. Just a haunting message. Just you probably shouldn't just stand on balconies. Yeah, you're gonna want to not do that.
Yeah, some of the plot is great, and then the subplot that they also have because I guess what would you call it basically her awakening is her revelation in the film is essentially her just waking up to the fact that there are things that are a lot more fucked up than she realizes, that she doesn't really want to know.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the movie is her trying to act as though that's she does. Like, she just wants to uncover the truth and do things by the book. Once she starts to see how things really are, however, you see a transition in her character where it slowly starts to kind of eat her apart, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then that's just like the side piece. I mean, like, there's that plus the fact of the actual story of corruption inside the CIA there.
Mm-hmm.
Using the hitman to go after the cartel.
Alejandro, and then the plot within a plot of Alejandro getting closer to his target and then following through with that. And they all work together beautifully. It's like fucking awesome, man. I like this movie a lot. I don't know. Is there anything else you want to touch on? I think we've covered most of it. It's hard to mention too many gripes, really.
No, really, honestly, other than the viewpoint it seems to have on women in law enforcement at a certain point, other than that, it's great. I mean, there's really nothing wrong with it. It's one of those movies that you really can't find anything that's wrong with it. The acting is great. The directing is great. All the setup is great.
I think this is enjoyable across the board.
The sound is great. Like, the score is amazing. Yeah, no, it's great across the board. If you have an issue with, because I know some people had say stuff like that about action movies as well, right? They say, like, if a female's there, yada yada yada. But if you have a problem with that, you're not gonna like the ending of this. But,
probably not.
Yeah. Other than that, it's highly enjoyable. I do think it's something that everybody should see because I think it's underrated. It doesn't seem to have as much hype as it should.
Yeah, definitely.
So I really hope that people do go out and see it. I think it's one of the best films of the year again, and I would give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to give it, 9 out of 10. It's fucking really good, and, solid acting, solid everything across the board. Not too many problems with it, to be honest. Yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up, though. 9 out of 10 from both of us, so you should probably go see that shit. And tell us what you think in the comments below if you enjoyed it. Yeah, thank you for watching. If you enjoy what we do, give us a subscribe, a like, share with your friends, any of that fun stuff. And we will see you next time for another film. Possibly Daredevil, Season 2. Not sure what's next, but we'll catch you later.
Bye.